Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Harakak All right. And double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same and teaching the same. All right. The title of this lesson will be Paradigm Shift. Okay. That'll be the title of this lesson. A paradigm shift is happening right before your eyes. Okay, and I'm just going to focus on one paradigm shift, and that's dealing with the Edomites, so-called white people. All right, but they're no longer in 2025, which this been brewing for years, decades, but especially in 2025. You're starting to see, locally, all right, and just within the everyday world of these citizens, all right, and consumers, that these Edomites, they're not hiding, Edomites, so-called white people, they're not hiding their hatred for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right? They're not hiding it anymore, okay? So that's another sign we're in the last days, all right? And the reason why Esau, the so-called white man, even the lowest class of them, the poor ones, even the poor ones is showing their hatred. And the reason why Esau is showing his true colors, because their mirth and happiness is being taken away from them. You know, the things that was distracting them from just focusing on you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and just concentrating all their hatred on you. You know, the things that was distracting them from doing that is being taken away from them. All right, so now their pleasures, all right, and their money, their lifestyle is being interrupted. Okay, you know, so they're becoming unhinged. Okay, they're becoming unhinged people. You know, these Edomites are what? They're stressed out. All right, and they're blaming it. You know, they're blaming the fall of their country. All right, they're blaming it on you so-called the minority, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. All right, you know, the Democratic Party. All right, which you so-called minority. All right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the 12 tribes. You know, most of you are Democrats. All right, you know, and that played a part in it too. All right, you know, so they're gonna blame, you know, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for a lot of these issues and problems and things like that. All right, so it's all was by design. Okay, you know, the Lord set up Babylon the Great America from the beginning to fall. Okay, so this place was perfectly set up to fall. Okay, and Babylon the Great America is going to fall in World War III. All right, in World War III, Babylon the Great America is going to be destroyed with nuclear missiles, as prophesied in the Bible. All right, so we're going to watch this video and grab some precepts, and Lord willing, that's edifying. All right, which I don't know if that's the full video, but uh, you know, that's just an example. All right, so this is how these Edomites, they're starting to show their true colors in 2025. All right, you know, and they bloodthirsty. Okay, Esau was blessed with the sword. All right, the ability to they're great hunters, and they're great at killing. All right, that's why they love guns so much. All right, Esau be knowing everything about a gun. Okay, how to put it together, how to take it apart. Okay, all of it. Okay, and they love war. Esau loved war. Ever since Esau, the so-called white man, been in power, it's been non-stop wars. All right, non-stop. Okay. So this Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, you got the true men of the Lord, beginning with the elder apostles, the great millstone, on down to the least of us, telling you who your enemy is. Esau, the so-called white man, and the other nations. All right, so-called Chinese. All right, so-called Japanese. All right, the Arabs, so on and so on. So these other nations, they're your enemy, okay? And your number one enemy is Esau, the so-called white man, all right, who has you in captivity, slavery, and to this day oppressing you, all right? But only the elect is going to wake up to that realization and wake up to that truth and going to call on and wait upon Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, to save us from this captivity, all right? Nobody's going to save us. Only the Lord is going to save us. All right? Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah is going to save us. Okay? And that's going to happen when the Lord come back, because the Lord is coming back in those so-called UFOs. All right? The Lord and the angels coming back in those so-called UFOs. All right? You know, so when Yahweh Shah and the angels come back, which the Bible calls them chariots, call those UFOs chariots, you know, he's going to deliver his elect of the nation of Israel. All right? And Lord willing, of that elect number. Okay? You know, and you still got coons today. You still got so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American coons, raccoons, that think that Esau, the so-called white man, is not their enemy, that he's their neighbor, he's their brother. You know, and that's poison from Christianity. Christianity has brainwashed 2/3 of our people and caused them to just be simple and just really have no critical thinking and don't do no, like, they don't question nothing. They just go with the flow. They zombies. All right? You know, they're zombies. But in this truth, you know, we don't trust our enemy, and we cross-examine everything Esau says. All right? You know, and we take it with a grain of salt. That's why we always do our research. Okay? The elder apostles of Great Millstone always taught us to what? You know, study to show yourself approved, like the scripture says. You know, research, go into deep research, go beneath the surface, okay? And that's how Esau was sought out, like the scripture says. I'm gonna come back to that one. So Esau, the so-called white man, he's been exposed by the prophets, you know, of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, beginning with the elder apostles, a great millstone on down to the least of us, all right? So this Obadiah 1 and 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right. So he's been sought out. Okay. You know, men of the Lord been bringing out all this truth, all this history, all these documents, all these books, and, you know, proving that Esau is the devil the Bible speaks of. Esau, the so-called white man, is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right? And all the rape, rob, and murder he done to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? And that they hate you. And in these last days, Esau about to show his true hatred. All right, this Obadiah 1 and 10, since I spotted it. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right, and Jacob is the Israelites. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. All right, and that represents us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, so Esau is still to this day being violent to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But only the elect is going to see that and run to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, going to seek the Lord daily. beg the Lord, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, to come and save us. Shorten the times. Deliver us from our enemy. Okay? The elect, they yearn for salvation. Okay? The second Esdras 2 and 13. Go and ye shall receive, pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Okay? So we want out of this captivity. Okay? We want out of this captivity. Okay? I need the, matter of fact, I'm going to get the scriptures ahead. Because I was about to go to Baruch. All right? I need to speed up because my lunch break had in. I need to speed up. Salakia, I might do a part 2. Matthew 24 and 12. Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay? So the love of many is waxing cold. People are no longer being fake. You still have them, but that shit wearing out. On a broader scale, from one coast to another, for the most part, people are not being fake anymore. They're just showing their true colors. All right? Esau, the so-called white man, as time and time progresses, as their kingdom falls more and more into destruction, they're gonna show their true horns more and more. And that's from the lowest Edomite on the totem pole all the way up to the elites. All right? And Esau about to come down with great wrath. All right? So don't think just because Donald Trump didn't enact martial law on April 20th, that don't mean it's not coming. Esau does shit like that. Esau, he'll tell you something and do the exact opposite. So he'll tell you, okay, April 20th, we're going to do this, and don't do it. That's how Esau come. He been doing using the same trickery since he been in power. Okay? He's not going to deceive the elect. All right, he's not going to deceive the elect. He's going to deceive 2/3. Because every time Esau do that, you got scoffers, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American scoffers, and, scoffers of these other races too, they'll be like, see, y'all always saying this gonna happen and it never happens. They mock the prophets about the mark of the beast. Man, y'all been saying that was coming for years. Y'all should just give up. Everything y'all saying is not happening. And that's because they don't have that spiritual eye salve. All right? They can't see. 2/3 of our people can't see the future. Only the elect can see the future. All right? It's Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. All right? So the elect, they can see the future. And the elect is going to have faith in Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Have faith in Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, and his word. All right? In the scriptures. All right? We know the scriptures can't be broken. Prophecy will be fulfilled. Okay? So, Salaki, I know I got to end it early, but my lunch break had ended, and I don't want my job to call me in the middle of doing the sit down. All right. So, yeah, I got to end it. I might do a part 2, but I think I hit the point. All right, I'm going to rewatch this video. Shit. I think I hit the point. I'm going to rewatch this video, and if it's anything else I want to say through the Spirit, I'll do a part 2, but for the most part, I think I hit the point. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to end it and give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Harakadash. Double honors to the old apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same and teaching the same. Shalom.